So here we go. So bringing yourself to a suitable chair, something that's fairly stable, something that you feel your feet can rest nice and firmly on the ground. So if you're in quite a low chair, you might want to sit up on a cushion. If your chair's a bit too high, perhaps you might be able to find a book or something that you could rest your feet onto. And the only prop you might need is, if you have one of these stretchy bands. If you don't have one, then perhaps you could use something like a scarf, just a longish sort of scarf. So we will be using that for some of the exercises. So I'll just put that to one side for now. So I thought it might be a good idea to start by cheering us all up a little bit. So we're going to start with a song. And the great thing about yoga is that it makes us feel happy. So the song we're going to sing is If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands. So here we go. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, nod your head. If you're happy and you know it, nod your head. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, nod your head. Okay, so that's got you all a little bit livened up, feeling a bit more awake. And just to say before I get going, obviously I can't really see what you're all doing, so therefore you have to just take care not to do anything that's going to cause you any harm. So if I ask you to raise your arm up and it gets to here and you feel a bit of pain, just don't go any higher, okay? Just because you see me reaching all the way up, it doesn't mean you have to go as far. So just take care of yourselves. That's the number one message really today. I might give you some instructions for inhalation and exhalation. If I'm not saying anything, please just keep breathing naturally, okay? Don't want anyone going red in the face. This will be a completely seated practice. So because I'm not there to support you in person, we're not going to be moving off the chair. If you do have to go and, you know, the doorbell rings or something, you've got to go and answer, you know, please just take your time and yeah, take care. So here we go. We're going to start with a 3-part yoga breath. So bringing your hands onto your belly here, and you can either look down towards the floor or letting your eyes close, just starting to feel that movement of the body with the breath. So perhaps when you inhale, you might notice that the belly expands out, pressing out against the hands. And then as you exhale, perhaps you notice the belly releasing back in towards the spine. So just breathing naturally in your own time for a couple more breaths, noticing that movement of the belly. And then we're going to move the hands up towards the rib cage now. So feeling the hands resting on the ribs. Now as you inhale, perhaps you notice the ribs open out. And then as you exhale, feeling them squeezing back in. And then a couple more like that. And then we're going to bring the hands up onto the chest, and now we're going to inhale, lifting up the chest, and then exhaling, feeling the chest releasing back down. 2 more times like that. And then just turning the hands together, maybe just resting the thumbs against the chest, Perhaps noticing the breath nice and smooth. Perhaps you can feel your heart beating against your thumbs. And then with our next inhalation, we're going to reach the hands up. As I said, don't take it too high if there's any pain, and then open out to the side as you exhale and release back down. And then bringing the hands together again, inhaling and stretching the arms up, and then turning the palms out and releasing the hands all the way back down. One more time, inhaling as you stretch up, and then exhaling as you open out to the side. Great. And now just the other way. So turn the palms to face up, inhale and reach the hands together, and then exhaling down through the center of the body. Turning the palms to face up, inhaling as you reach up, and then exhaling, coming back down. And one last time. Inhale, reaching hands up, and then exhaling back into the heart center. Once again, just resting it here for a moment. And then we're just going to release the hands down to the knees, relaxing through the shoulders. And now gentle movements of the head. So as you start to inhale, lifting your chin up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, slowly releasing the head down. Inhaling, lifting chin up, and then exhaling and releasing chin towards the chest. One more time. Inhaling as you lift up, and exhaling and releasing the chin down to the chest. And then bring yourself back to the center. Taking a moment here. And then on your next inhalation, look over towards your right. And then exhaling back towards the center. And then inhaling, looking over to the left. And exhaling back to the center. Inhaling over to the right. And exhaling back to the center. Inhaling to the left. Exhale to the center. One more round. Inhaling right. Exhale center. And then over to the left. And exhaling it back to the center. And then just let the head drop down towards the right shoulder. You should feel a nice stretch through the left side of the neck. Breathing naturally here. And then on the next inhale, come up to the center, and then exhale the head over to the other side, so you feel a nice stretch down the other side of the neck. And then perhaps just releasing the head slightly forward, so you're looking over towards the left knee, and then letting the chin roll across the chest. Now you're looking over towards your right knee. And then rolling the chin back over, looking to the left. And then over once more to the right. And another round like that. Nice gentle movements of the neck. Just to let any tension in those muscles release out. And then coming back to the center, bringing the head back up into a nice neutral position. So that's got our neck nice and loosened up. Now we're going to work on the spine. I'm just going to turn sideways on for a moment so you can see what I'm doing here. So just don't turn yourselves, just watch me for a moment. So the movement we're going to do here is going to be a breath in as we lift up through the chin and the chest, and then breathing out, slightly rounding the back, letting the head release down. So that's the movement that we're looking for, this movement through the spine. So sitting yourselves a little way away from the back of the chair. Hands onto the knees, inhaling, arching up through the back, lifting the chin up, and then exhaling, and then rounding back through the spine. And inhaling as you lift up, and exhaling, rounding under. And we'll just do that 4 more times, so in time with your own breath. Doesn't necessarily have to be the same speed that I'm going at. Couple more times. And then finish up with an exhalation. And then bring it back into your nice neutral spine position. So by neutral spine, we're neither arching nor rounding. It's just in a nice natural position. And then working a little bit with the arms. So bring the palms of the hands together. And as we inhale, we're going to open out to the side and then exhale back into the center. So inhale as you open out and exhale back to the center. And then 4 more like that. If you need to stop at any time, just let the hands rest down. 3 more to go. And 2. And last one. And then letting the hands rest back to the knees. Now we're going to do some shoulder rotations. So as you breathe in, bring the shoulders forwards. And then you breathe out, moving the elbows and the shoulders back. So breathing in, coming forwards, and then breathing out and squeezing the shoulders behind. Again, inhale as you come up, and exhale, squeezing the shoulders behind. And then just coming back to your neutral position. Now we're going to take it the other way. So as you inhale, start to squeeze the shoulder blades behind you, and then coming forwards and round, exhaling and releasing down. So squeezing the shoulder blades in and then releasing it forwards. 1 more time like that. That feels nice, doesn't it? Loosening up those shoulders. Maybe just give it a little bit of a shake out here. Quite often, especially if we're sitting in a chair for a long time, the shoulders can get really quite tense. So it's good to keep those shoulders moving. Okay, so now we're going to move to the elbows. So bringing the hands to face palm up, and we're going to inhale, reach up towards the fingertips, and then exhale and release back down. So inhaling and lifting up, and exhaling and releasing down. We're going to do 4 more like that. Using your breath, 2 more to go. And then 1 more time. And then let the hands release back down. Okay, and then we're just going to loosen up the joints of the fingers. So take one hand out in front of you, and then just squeezing the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the little finger in towards you, and then taking all 4 fingers together. So we're going to open up the front of the wrist here, and then pointing the fingers down, getting a little bit of movement through the back of the wrist there, and then maybe just have a little bit of a shake out. And then taking it over to the other hand, so taking each of the fingers in turn, gently squeezing from the tip of the finger, opening up through all those joints, and then all 4 together, open up through the wrist, and then pointing the fingers down, and then have a little shake out there. Good. And then bring the hands in front of you now. So if it's okay, keep the arms outstretched. If that's a bit sore for you, you can just keep the elbows slightly bent. So we're just going to stretch out through the fingers, stretching out and then releasing back in a few times. And then bring the fingers together and move up and down through the wrist. Good. And then let's make the hands into a fist and circle one way and then circle back the other way. And release it down. Good. So that's our upper body work now. So now we're going to move on to the feet and the legs. But take the right foot out in front of you and then just start to move the foot up and down a few times, loosening up through that ankle. And then let the heel rest back onto the floor. And then we're going to squeeze the toes in and then release them out. And squeeze the toes and release them out. And squeeze in and release out. A couple more like that. And then just relaxing the foot. We're going to pick the foot up and then make circles from the ankle. And then circle back around the other way. and then release down. Okay, now moving over to the other foot, so stretching out, flex and point a few times. And then we're just going to let the heel drop back down to the floor and squeezing the toes in and then relaxing them out. And squeezing in and relax out. And squeezing in and relaxing, a couple more like that. And then letting the foot relax, picking it up, circle one way around, and then circle back around the other way. And release it down. Good. Now we're working on the knee joint. So we're going to take the right leg, lifting it up, hold, interlink the hands underneath the fingers underneath the thigh, and then just making nice circles from the knee. So we're trying to keep the ankle joint still here. We're just moving the knee joint. And then back around the other way. And release that down. And then other side, picking the leg up and circle around one way. And circling back around the other way. And then release that one down. Okay. Now, taking the feet out a little bit wider here. So we're going to bring the hands onto the knees. This time we're working through the hips and the pelvis. So keeping the back straight, we're just moving the body around in a nice circle here. We're thinking a bit like an old-fashioned butter churn. And your back is the stick of the butter churn. I'm sure you can all relate to that. And then back around the other way. And coming back into the center. Bringing the feet back together. Resting, feet underneath the knees. And just taking a moment here. So in between the postures or the activities, it's always nice to have a little bit of a rest, and it just gives the body time to realign itself, coming back into its natural state. So now we're going to do a little bit more cardiovascular work, so to get the heart rate moving a little bit. Not going to do a 5-mile hike, but we're just going to do something called a sun salutation. And this is a traditional way to greet the sun, traditionally done in the morning, but it doesn't really matter what time of day it is. It's just a nice way to open up the whole of the body. So bringing the hands here into the center of the body, and then as we breathe in, we're going to reach the hands up, breathing out and opening nice and wide to the side. Maybe letting the hands rest onto the knees here, arching up through the back, and then we're going to release the body forwards, and either bringing the hands towards the ankles, or if that's a bit much, you can keep the elbows resting onto the knees, and then reaching out with the right arm as you inhale, exhale, come back into the center. Inhale, stretching out the left arm, and then coming back into the center. Now bring the hands onto the knees, inhale, arch up through the back, exhale back to your neutral position, palms facing up, inhale, reaching the hands together, and then exhaling down through the center of the body. And then just taking a moment here, I'm going to turn my chair for the next one so you can see better what's happening. You just keep facing towards me. And I just want to show it from this side on, okay? It might give you a better idea what's going on. So we're going to inhale and reach up. Exhale and open out to the side. Hands to knees. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, releasing the hands down. Inhale, stretching out with the right arm. Exhaling, releasing down. Inhale, left arm. And exhale, release down. Hands onto the knees. Inhale, arching through the back. Exhale, back up to neutral. Palms facing up. Inhale, reaching the hands together. And then exhaling back into the heart center. Okay. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of the movements with the back there. As I say, though, don't take anything too far. If it's causing you any pain, if you've got pain in your back, you know, your forward bend, part of it might just be to here. And that's perfectly good. Everything's good. So we're going to do one more round of the sun salutation. So hands back into the heart center. Inhale, lifting up, exhaling out to the side. Inhale, hands to the knees. Exhale, releasing forwards. Inhale, reaching out with the right arm. Exhale, back into the center. Inhale, reaching out the left arm. And exhale, back to the center. Hands to knees. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, back. Palms facing up. Inhaling the hands up. And then exhaling and coming back into the heart center. And then I just like here to close my eyes for a moment and just notice the feeling of that heart, which is beating away inside the chest, pumping all the blood around your body. And then just letting the hands rest back onto the knees. So now we're ready for the next part of the session, which is where we do some of the yoga postures, and we'll just hold the postures for maybe 3 or 4 breaths each time, and that just helps to build up a bit of strength through the body. So we're going to start with something called a warrior pose. So for this one, we want to sit a little bit forwards on the chair maybe, and we're going to take the right foot out to one side, perhaps turning the foot out to about a 45-degree angle, and the left foot wants to be nicely planted underneath that knee. Okay, and then we're going to reach out with the arms, and then maybe turning the head towards the right hand, if that's okay for your neck. Otherwise, it's perfectly all right to just keep looking forwards. But we want to try and aim for that feeling of a stretch right the way from fingertips of the right hand and out through to the fingertips of the left hand. Breathing naturally, and then on the next exhalation, letting the hands just drop back down and coming back to it. And then we're going to take it over to the other side. So taking the left foot out, taking it on a 45-degree angle. So we're getting a little bit of an opening up through the groin area. And then we're going to reach out through the fingertips. And then turning the head, looking towards the fingertips. Again, just checking in with your neck here that that feels okay for you. Keep breathing. And then on our next exhale, gently releasing the hands back down. And then bringing the leg back under here. And just having a little rest in between the poses. And then the next pose is going to be a back bend. So we're going to take the hands and just place them behind the bottom on the back of the chair. So you should just be able to feel the heels of the hands pressing into the chair. And this will enable us to lift up through the chest. And again, we're trying to find a nice arch through the back. And then just breathing nice and naturally here. And then on the next inhale, coming back up to vertical, and then releasing the hands onto your knee. And then coming into a twist, so we're going to take our right hand over to the left knee, and then the left hand is going to hold onto the back of the chair. If you're fairly open in your shoulders, maybe you can take the elbow over the back of the chair, whichever one works for you. And then think about inhaling as you lift up through the top of the head. And then as you exhale, turn to look over the right shoulder. Keep breathing. Actually, it's your left shoulder. I'm doing it the opposite to you. Sorry for any confusion. And then exhale, come back to the center. And then we're going to take it over to the other side. So left hand over to the right knee, right hand coming over either to the hold onto the back of the chair, and then twisting, looking over the right shoulder down. Again, just take it as far as your neck will comfortably go. There shouldn't be any pain going on here. Breathing naturally. And then as you exhale, release back to the center. And we're going to come into a little side stretch. So we're going to take the foot out to the side again, just letting the elbow rest towards the knee, taking the other hand onto the hip, and then just turning the body so you're looking up over the left shoulder. See how that feels for you here. That might be enough. If you want to take a deeper stretch, then maybe reaching that hand up towards the ceiling You should feel a nice stretch all the way through the left side of the body. If you want to go deeper still, then maybe reaching that arm all the way over. So just take it to whichever level is appropriate for you. And then inhale, coming back up, and then exhaling, bringing the foot back into the center. And then taking that one to the other side now. So left foot out to the side, elbow to the thigh or the knee, hand onto the opposite hip, and then think about twisting through the torso, looking up over that shoulder. You might want to take this option, stay like this, or maybe reaching the arm out to the side, or the final version is to reach that arm all the way over, and maybe just turning the head up to look under the armpit there. And then exhale, releasing the hand down, and then inhale and come back into the center. Good. So you should feel a nice opening through the whole of the body now. So then we're going to move on to some exercises now with our bands. So take hold of your band and bring it underneath your right foot. So the band needs to be long enough that you can hold it but keep your back up nice and straight. We don't want to do these exercises leaning forwards, okay? So keep the back up nice and straight here. And then we're going to breathe in and lift the knee up, and then breathe out and release back down. And breathing in as you lift up, and breathing out and releasing down. Breathing in, lifting up, breathe out and release down. And we're going to do 3 more like that. Using the breath to help you. And last one, letting it release back down and just relaxing the hands here. So keeping the band in the same position. Now we're going to inhale as we stretch the leg out in front, and then exhale, bringing the foot back down. Inhale, stretching out, and exhaling and releasing down. Inhaling out and exhale back 3 more times. Great. And then just letting that relax there. Okay, now slightly more complicated one here. So take care, particularly if you have hip issues here. So we're going to stretch the leg out, holding both ends of the band with your right hand, and then just let the other hand hold onto the side of the chair for a bit of stability here. And then we're going to open out to the side on the inhale, and then exhaling, coming back to the center. So inhale as you open out, and exhale back into the center. Inhale, open out, exhale back in. 3 more rounds. Good. And then bending the knee, just letting the foot release back down, and then you can just unhook the band from there. And then we're going to take it over to the other side. We're placing it underneath now the left foot. Keeping the other foot nice and steady on the floor for a bit of support. And then inhale as you lift up, and then exhale and release down. Inhaling, lifting up, and exhale, release down. Inhale, lifting up, exhale, release down. 3 more times. And 1 more. Good. Okay, so just relax there. And now we're going to do the stretch out. So as you inhale, stretching the leg out, and then exhaling, coming back in. Inhaling, stretching out, and exhaling back in. Inhale, stretch out, and exhale back, and 3 more times. Great. And then just relaxing it there. Okay, now the hip opener, so stretching the leg out, we're going to hold onto both ends of the band with one hand, and then other hand is going to hold onto the chair, and then stretching out to the side, and then coming back into the center. Inhaling as you stretch out, try to keep the back up nice and straight, and back into the center. Inhaling out, and exhale back in. 3 more like that. Good. And then bending the knee and then just releasing the band and bringing it onto your lap now. Okay, so maybe give the legs a little bit of a shake out. In fact, I think what we'll do here, we're going to do a bit of heel raising. Okay, so just let the hands rest onto the knee, and then we're going to inhale, right heel up, and then exhale and release down. And then inhale, left heel up, and exhale and release down. And inhale, right heel up, exhale down, inhale, left heel up, and exhale down. And then one more on each side. Good. And now we're going to do both heels together. So inhaling, lifting up, and exhaling, release down. Inhale, lifting up, and exhale, release down. And then 4 more like that. One more time. Good. And then letting the feet relax. And then we're going to take our band out in front of us. And if you've got one of the stretchy bands, you can try to stretch it out. If you're just using a scarf, just hold it out in front of you and then release it back in. So stretching it out and then releasing back in. And stretching it out and then releasing. So 3 more times. And then once more. Good. And then release that down. Okay, and then take it a little bit wider now. So we're going to open out nice and wide. And then just take this as high as is okay for your arms. So if you can bring the arms all the way over the head, reaching up, that's great. If it only works for you coming halfway up, then just take the movement halfway. Okay, so going together, we're going to inhale and lift up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, pushing up and away. And then exhale and release down. So if you're only coming halfway, just come up halfway. If you can go all the way up, go all the way up. And then bending the elbows and then pushing out away and then releasing back down. So one more movement like that, choosing whether to go all the way up or halfway. Inhaling all the way up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, pushing away. And exhale and release it back down. Good. And then we're just going to drop the band to one side. And we're just going to stretch those shoulders out. So take the right hand across to the left elbow. And then the left hand over to the right elbow. Okay, and as we breathe in, we're just going to lift the elbows up. And then breathing out and release down. So breathing in and lifting up. And breathe out and release down. One more time. Inhaling up. And then exhaling down. And then taking the arms out, we're going to cross the other hand to the shoulder. So now right hand to left and left hand to right. Inhaling up and exhale down. And inhaling up and exhale down. One more time. And then letting that release down. So having a little shake out here. And then we're just going to prepare ourselves for a relaxation. So for this one, we maybe can bring a cushion or something to rest behind you, or if you're in a nice comfortable chair, just resting back against the back of the chair. So you're really trying to let yourself relax here. And sometimes you feel more relaxed when you close your eyes. If that's not feeling comfortable for you, then just keep the eyes open, but just soften the gaze downwards. And we're just going to feel the support of the chair, feeling it against our back, feeling the seat of the chair pressing into the lower body, feeling the feet resting onto the ground, feeling ourselves completely supported. Allowing the whole body to relax. Maybe taking a nice breath in and opening your mouth and just let any tension out And maybe once again. One more time. And starting to feel any tension releasing out from the toes, releasing out any tension from the ankles, releasing out any tension from the calf muscles, the shins, releasing tension from the knees, from the thighs, from the hips and pelvis, and releasing from the buttocks. Feeling the lower legs are completely relaxed. Moving the awareness now to the middle of the body, feeling the muscles in your abdomen are nice and relaxed, feeling the rib cage and the chest are relaxed, taking the awareness to the back of the body, relaxing the muscles in between the shoulder blades, relaxing the spine from the neck all the way down to the tailbone, feeling the whole of the back of the body, the whole of the front of the body completely relaxed. Bringing your awareness to your neck, letting the muscles in the neck relax, and relaxing the shoulders and upper arms, relaxing the elbows and the forearms, relaxing the hands and wrists, relaxing the fingers and thumbs, feeling the whole body from the neck down completely relaxed. And now moving your awareness to your head, feeling the chin and the cheeks are relaxed, letting your tongue just rest into the lower jaw, feeling the eyeballs and eyelids are relaxed, the forehead and the temples are relaxed, the crown of the head and whole of the skull completely relaxed. And inviting you to say to yourself, my whole body is completely relaxed. Now starting to bring your awareness once more to your breath, noticing that the air feels a little bit cooler on the inhale and a little bit warmer on the exhale. And as you inhale, feeling that fresh energy, fresh oxygen coming into your body, filling the heart and the lungs. Feeling energy moving up towards the head, feeling the brain becoming energized. Feeling energy flowing down your arms to the tips of your fingers. Feeling energy flowing down the torso, energizing all your vital organs. Feeling energy flowing down the legs all the way down to the tips of the toes. Starting to feel the whole body re-energized and rejuvenated with healing life force energy in every cell. And then moving the fingers and the thumbs, perhaps moving the toes, the ankles and the wrists, starting to bring a little bit of movement back into the body. And then just taking a moment to rub the hands together. Resting the hands over your eyes, gently massaging over your face and over the top of the head and all the way around the back to the neck and the shoulders, giving the shoulders a little rub here. And then perhaps releasing down the back and along the legs to the knees, giving the knees a little rub. And then taking the right hand over to the other shoulder, just work your way down to each of the fingers. And then over to the other side. And then just to finish up our yoga practice together, turning the palms to face up, inhaling the hands together, and as you exhale, bring all the goodness of your yoga into your heart center. And just knowing that you can come back to this practice whenever you want, keeping yourselves happy and healthy. Namaste.